Hello, this is Eric Dvorsky, and you're listening to my podcast. One of the things that has surrounded my life and has kind of encompassed my life throughout the past couple of years is photography. If you would have asked what my special skills or a certain type of field that I was looking for in the future, I wouldn't have said photography. But yet, again, photography has definitely encompassed my life within especially these past couple of years. I guess I'll first start with my history of photography. My history so far only started out with a little digital camera that I got at the beginning of my high school year as a freshman. And I just basically took shots all around, and originally I was thinking about doing more sort of like video stuff, and I kind of did do that on my little digital camera, where I did do videos but I also included images. And I also went on a few trips where I wanted to do more video recording, so I brought like my video camera. I was recording stuff that was going on a mission trip with my church, and I'm trying to think, and also included photos. But it was during my sophomore year where in my English class we had to like present a presentation about like some of these certain words and kind of use sentences with that. And I was using a PowerPoint, and I wanted to add just added some artwork to it, and so I decided to include some photos I took. And and my teacher for my English class happened to be the sponsor for the school's yearbook. She came up to me after class and said, "Eric, you take some amazing photos. Do you want to join the school's yearbook?" I'm like, sure, okay. My junior year, I started out as a photographer for my school's yearbook. I borrowed my mom's DSLR camera, which was a 50D Canon, and I took photos. I wasn't really sure what setting I was using or how to use it. I just decided to take the camera and shoot them. And apparently people were really impressed with the photos I had. And people were like, "Oh, Eric, how did you do this?" I'm like, I don't know, I just pointed and shoot. And I was really dedicated as a photographer my junior year, that so much that I was appointed photo manager of my school's yearbook my senior year. At that point, I was beginning to learn a little bit more about photography. Like, I kind of understood more of the settings that was on my camera and some of the ideas, but really most of my and I've never really had any basic knowledges about how to work a camera. I just learned it all from what I had from my camera. I just learned, okay, so this thing makes the camera a little brighter than it should be, and other stuff like that. And again, I learned from other photographers where they were talking to me. It's like, "Oh, what's your shutter speed?" "Huh? "Oh, the shutter speed, it's this." "Oh, okay. What's the setting on your aperture?" "What? Are you taking the photos in RAW?" "What?" So basically, I never really had any practice or knowledge, again, with photography, and I always learned it from the practicing with my camera, just getting used to knowing how it works. And then finally when I came to Ithaca College and started to take classes of photography, it began to make more sense and more clarified. Now that I do have the knowledge of photography, I'm always loving to go around talking, especially when I go into clients asking me about photo assignments or asking me to take photos for a theater production. I'm like, "Do you want me to take this in JPEG or RAW?" And they're, again, my response is, "Wait, what?" I'm like, RAW basically stores more format, so it allows us to edit the photo even more, while JPEG, on the other hand, just keeps the photo and makes it accessible to be able to just upload quickly, but it allows you to take more than RAW. And again, they're like, just do whatever you do. And yeah. And again, photography has definitely become a big thing in my life, where I just love taking the camera around and I love shooting things. I'm more practiced with journalism, as again, with my practice with yearbook, where I'm used to going to a certain area where I have to go to and really just try to capture the moments. And again, with journalism photography, you have to be aware of the lighting that's going around, whether you just set your shutter speed or your aperture, or how your ISO has to be. And that is kind of an interesting thing